You are listening to the Certified Personal Trainer Podcast, a show by personal trainers for personal trainers. It's time to become a better trainer, get more clients, and change more lives. And now, here's your host, the head coach and founder of Fitness Mentors, Eddie Lester.
Hey guys, welcome to the Certified Personal Trainer Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie Lester, and we have made it to episode 10. We're officially in double digits, so thanks for sticking around with us and continuing on as we move forward. But I wanted to talk specifically today about how to become a personal trainer. So here at Fitness Mentors, we help personal trainers in all levels and we'll say areas of their career, and especially for, we have a ton of people that call us and ask the best ways to become a personal trainer, the best types of education, where they should go for their education, and basically the steps on from just doing your research all the way to getting certified and starting work. Just kind of wanted to get into a little bit about that avenue for those of you that are kind of newer to wanting to become a personal trainer and or you're just kind of starting this process. So really, this is kind of go over our blog on our site, which is actually fitnessmentors.com/how to become a personal trainer. So if you want to read this specifically, definitely check out our blog on the top right menu heading on our website. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started as we kind of talk about, we're basically going to go through 5 simple steps and really just lay it out in a simple way so that you can kind of go step by step and make sure you have everything in order to get certified and start training clients. So first step is actually to make sure that you have your prerequisites in order. And when we think about becoming a personal trainer, there's not a lot of things that you need to have. There's not this 4-year required education, like becoming a physical therapist, things like that. There's not even a degree required on a 2-year level. It's really about making sure that you get the right education and pass a certification exam. But in order to do that, you do have to have your prerequisites all set first. So the prerequisites that we suggest that you have are to be 18 years of age or older, have a high school diploma or GED, and then also you're going to need your CPR/AED certification. And these 3 prerequisites are pretty much just industry standard to get a job. So it's important that, before you even think about starting your career or we'll say choosing a certification, that you are 18 years of age, you have a high school diploma or GED, and then you also have your CPR and AED certification. To work as a personal trainer in a gym setting, and just recommended wise, it is important that you do have your CPR and AED certification because you are taking people through, we'll say, exercises that increase heart rate. And if they're maybe not in the best shape or they have heart issues and something does happen, you do want to be fully prepared to know exactly what to do in that situation. So definitely something that's important there. We typically recommend, either the American Red Cross, American Heart Association. There's even the American Safety Training Institute. I think it's americansti.org that we send a lot of people to. Just make sure that you have your CPR certification so that you're always prepared when you are training clients for anything that might happen. All right, step number 2 is going to be to nail down the best certified personal trainer course, basically the education and specifically the certification. But we want you to nail down the best CPT course for you. Now, when I talk about this, I really want you to understand that depending on where you want to work, it is, we'll say, crucial that you choose a certification that's relevant to either get a job in the gym that you want to work at or to help you prepare best to maybe start your own private personal training business. Or if you're looking to even go the online route, you want the education that is, really not only goes over how to become a personal trainer, but also how to take your personal training business online. So when we think about that, there's a few different options. And we really want to know, or a lot of people ask, and we've had a full podcast on this, but what's the best personal training certification? And I think that's the wrong question to ask. I really think that it should be, what is the best personal training certification for you? If you want to be a private trainer, most of the big certification bodies don't give you effective education for that or for running your own business, understanding lead generation, getting your own clients, turning those leads into paying customers. And then, yes, they do definitely teach you how to train the individual, but there's so much to the success of a personal trainer that goes into all of the business side of things. So that's something that we at Fitness Mentors recognized and really geared our entire certification, well, not our entire certification, but we geared our certification to really highlight, how do you build or how do you build a business as a personal trainer? And then how do you succeed in getting clients? Because you can be the most educated, science-backed personal trainer in the entire world, but if you can't get clients, you can't help people. So that's my little rant about, really where do you want to work? If you want to work at 24 Hour Fitness, at LA Fitness, some of the major gym chains, then it would be better to go with the certifications like NASM and or ACE, or the top tier certifications. And also, though, we also want to think about the education experience. A lot of times people come to us and say, I don't really like the way that NASM has their education laid out, or ACE is a little bit hard to follow and they jump around. So we even offer education to help you pass the NASM and ACE certifications because we really value, we'll say, great education and a great education experience. And that's why we're really called Fitness Mentors, because we want to mentor you through your entire career as a personal trainer, not just, the certification process and then, let you go in that sense. We always want to help. We always want to help you progress. And we really feel that's something really core rooted in one of our core values in our business, which is, our core value of growth. We always want you to be growing and in, we'll say, success, no matter what area of your career you're at. All right, so just to kind of go over our blog a little bit more, what concepts do you learn best? What types of educational materials do you enjoy? And then also, there's about 5 different ways that you can become a personal trainer depending on the education style that you like. So the most common style, this is probably 98% of all the personal trainers out there, they choose an online program like the Fitness Mentors CPT that really takes you through the entire education online in your own home, and then you take a certification exam after you complete your education. Very simple, very, we'll say, convenient to you in your study process. You can learn from anywhere. Our course really allows you to use your phone to do the entire education process. And audio. Also, we have audio-based listening, kind of similar to this podcast in the sense that we go through every single chapter, explain it in a way that's easy to understand, and really just provide the experience within an online education that feels more like you're with someone and almost as if you have your mentor in front of you at all times, teaching you what you need to know and giving you really the insights into how it actually looks when you're training people. A lot of times with the big certification bodies like NASM or ACE, they teach you the sciences behind it, but then they're kind of like, well, how do you really apply that directly with a client? Might not be as clear. So that's something that we really want to make sure that as a personal trainer is how does the sciences how do the sciences apply to what you're actually going to be doing with your clients? Awesome. So yeah, that's the number one. Probably 98% of all personal trainers start that way. They choose a certification, they study via the online course, and then they take the exam. Another option to become a personal trainer is through a vocational college program. This is like a college near your house that may like a career college. And they might have a 200-hour program or a 500-hour program or even up to a 900-hour program that directly teaches you how to be a personal trainer with hands-on experience. Those types that type of education is typically a bit more expensive. I've seen colleges charge anywhere from about $15,000 all the way up to $22,000 in that range to get the same certification that you could do online, but you get a ton of hands-on experience in a classroom environment. Also, most vocational colleges accept the GI Bill and provide financial aid. So that is something, if you're a student, 18 to 22 years old and you want to get into it and you need, we'll say some financial assistance, you can get that in those types of programs. And then also if you are military, you can use your GI Bill to go to school and become a personal trainer that route with that hands-on experience. So That is another option. Another one is a university program. I did both the certification via U.S. company first. Then I went to Long Beach State, or California State University, Long Beach, and I got my bachelor's in science in kinesiology, which is directly to become a personal trainer. And then I taught at a vocational college. So I really have the experience in all three of those elements, but they all have their benefits and drawbacks. The university program is a 4-year program typically, and can cost upwards of $40,000 to $60,000, and then if you're living on campus, all those expenses do increase as well. So the university program though can be great. You might get a lot more of GEs and not as much of specific education, which is what I noticed when going to that sort of program. It's a little bit less like you're becoming a personal trainer and a little bit more like here's the sciences around the body and kinesiology and movement and exercise physiology, those major sort of things. And then really the application of personal training. There's 1 or 2 classes that you do, but I really felt that if you're going to become a personal trainer and you don't, we'll say, want to move into any research-based stuff, a bachelor's or master's to then become a personal trainer isn't necessary. But if you want to move into research or move into something like athletic training or physical therapy, definitely you need your bachelor's and or master's there. So keep that in mind. All right, and then there's also like a gym program. So some gyms offer just a quick weekend seminar that you can go in and get, we'll say, certified by that gym, and therefore you can work at that gym. That's something that is an option. And then some unaccredited online options, just some basic, like I'm sure if you Google it, you'll see an advertisement for $69 personal training certification. That's probably not going to be the best education and probably won't provide you, we'll say, the best insight into succeeding as a personal trainer. But those are options as well that I typically don't recommend because of the quality is not really there. It's most often offered by like large online course creators that are in multiple industries that just throw like, oh, here, become a personal trainer with a $69 certification or $50 certification, something like that. So, do your research, choose a nationally recognized certification like Fitness Mentors, like NASM, like ACE, some of the major bodies for sure. All right. Also, when thinking about that, you want to think of, how much time do you have? If you're 18 years old and you want that college experience, but you also want to become a personal trainer, you go to that 4-year university or you go to that vocational college and take the time to really go through a in-depth educational process. If you're thinking, oh, I need to be certified because I'm going to be hired at a gym in 1 month, you got to jump on an online certification, study your butt off, and then take that test as quick as possible. Time does matter as far as which route you choose. And then, oftentimes we think about, questions that come around often with people asking about becoming a personal trainer or how to become a personal trainer. And one of them is, do I need to go to college to become a personal trainer? Definitely not. You do not need to go to college to become a personal trainer. When you start to think about college, what is college good for when we think about an exercise science related field? Well, you definitely have to think about, like I said, the research, exercise physiology. Then when you think about furthering your career path in the sense of becoming an athletic trainer, like the people that assist athletes when they get injured at the football game, that sort of thing. Or even if you're starting to think about a strength and conditioning coach for a football team or a baseball team or just an athletic program at a college, that you would need to go to college for. So there's different routes, but as far as a personal trainer goes, which helps people achieve health and fitness goals, you do not need to go to college or university to become a personal trainer. And then, when we think about that, you also have to think of the national, we'll say, recognition of certain personal training certifications. And specifically when we think about, the credibility of each of these certifications, how long has it been around? How many people are taking each certification? And what is the success rate? How many trainers are currently using that certification? And really, in my opinion, the quality of the education typically comes from, we'll say, programs that are popular in that sense. And, improving upon NASM and ACE is really what we attempted to do in the sense of create a certification that not only expands upon how to be successful as a personal trainer. This is why we emphasize this sort of entrepreneurial private training route, because you can make more money as a private trainer. That's what our certification really is there to help, there to teach you. But when we think about the best programs and the best certifications, you want to choose an accredited program, or a nationally recognized program, or Fitness Mentors is nationally recognized by the National Board of Fitness Examiners, and NASM and ACE hold their NCCA accreditation. And really, when we think about it, you just want to make the right choice as far as quality of a program. So if you go with NASM or ACE, we also, once again, have study tools to help you pass those exams with a much better education experience. And that's really what we're all about here at Fitness Mentors. So moving along, just to name some of the other top accredited personal training bodies, you have NFPT, National Federation of Professional Trainers, ACSM, American College of Sports Medicine, NESTA, National Exercise and Strength Training Association, I believe, NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association, NCSF, National Council on Strength and Fitness, NCCPT, National Commission, I forget NCCPT, but that's also an option there. So, you need a certification typically to start training people. Also, you need a certification to qualify for personal training insurance, which if you're becoming a private personal trainer, you should have personal training insurance. If you work at a major gym, you may not need direct individual insurance because you're typically covered as an employee of that company on their insurance. But if you're training people privately, make sure that you have a certification and that you do have personal training insurance, as you want to protect yourself from, if somebody was injured, they could take legal action. So you always want to make sure that you are insured if you're training people at all privately. Even if you were working at a gym but then trained some people on the side, make sure you have that personal training insurance. All right, next. Step number three is choose an exam date. So choosing an exam date, pretty simple. Really what you're thinking about is when or how long is it going to take you to prepare to pass the test? And then once you are nearing the end of your studies, let's choose an exam date. Or if you want to motivate yourself, set an exam date and then create a study schedule all the way up until that exam date so that you're ready before then. We also, with our NASM and ACE programs, our study tools, we offer a complete study schedule that allows you to stay on path for a 4-week or 8-week study timeline. So really just setting up your study time, choosing an exam date, and committing to that schedule is important. So just some basic, how long does it take to become a personal trainer? With our program, we specifically recommend, once again, about that 4 to 8 weeks of studying on a daily basis. If you do not have a lot of time to study, then you may want to extend that into that 2 to 4 month range. But really, powering through this, getting into the content, listening to your phone if you're out and about, listening to education, that'll help you kind of get through the program. But just some typical study timelines to expect when you choose specific certifications. So NCCPT is 80 to 100 hours. Fitness Mentors is a total of 80 hours of content to get through. So depending on how many hours per week you want to study, if you studied for 10 hours a week, that's 8 weeks. Kind of setting that sort of parameter around your study time is important. NESTA is basically you want to complete the test within 90 days of requesting the exam voucher. They allow you to study as long as you want and then request an exam voucher. ACSM has 3, 6, 12, or 24-month options. ACE, basically you want to take the test around 6 months from the date of purchase. NASM is the exact same way. NCSF is also 6 months from the date of purchase. NSCA is 120 days after purchasing the exam. NFPT is about 12 months after purchasing the exam. And then you have ISSA, which is about 6 months to complete the program. So ISSA is a little bit different because theirs is it's accredited by the Distance Education Accrediting Committee, which basically is more of a college-style online learning that you complete units as opposed to go at your own pace. Or you can go at your own pace, but you have to complete units in order to get the certification that proves that you completed the entire course, and you have to do projects along the way to confirm that. All right, so moving to number 4 is you need to pass your exam. How do you become a personal trainer? Well, you pass a certification exam. Very simple. Once again, study, or make sure you have your prerequisites. You choose a program, you study that program, then you choose an exam date, and then the fourth step obviously is to pass your exam. And once again, guys, when you start to think about the study prep time, most of these certifications have giant textbooks, and you're expected to know 120 questions or 150 questions from 800 pages worth of content. When you start to think about how you should study, choosing a third-party educator like Fitness Mentors to help you study for your NASM or ACE exam, that is going to really help you focus in on what you need to know. A lot of people go at it on their own for ACE and NASM, and these 700, 800-page textbooks just, they get very frustrated because it's like, I'm trying to highlight everything from every page, and they don't know what they actually need to know to pass. So once again, guys, you want to pass your exam. That's when you become a personal trainer. And then the final step is to land a job as a personal trainer. Now, this is where if you chose a certification to get a job at a 24-hour fitness, like a NASM or ACE, then you go apply at 24-hour fitness. What we recommend typically is if you do go that route, that after, 6 months, after a year or so, maybe even 3 months, and you feel confident in your training and we'll say client acquisition abilities, that's when it's time to take your business private, because you're going to make significantly more money doing so. Also, as you take your business private, you'll have extra time to start building an online personal training business. Guys, the new age of technology and fitness is online. Obviously, you will have your in-person clients that are in your local area that you enjoy training on that daily basis. But imagine connecting with so many more people by becoming an online trainer, helping more people achieve fitness goals. If you want to go back one podcast number 9, and we talk about some of the barriers to getting into being an online personal trainer. But it's something that I feel personal trainers need to be adding to their repertoire of services. So. But yeah, you want to land a job as a personal trainer. Also, guys, we do have an entire online personal training certification on fitnessmentors.com that will teach you how to set up, start, and we'll say train clients online, and basically earn money, personal freedom, and financial freedom as well. So look into that if that's kind of your route, or if that's your path. But yeah, so once again, land a job as a personal trainer. How much do you think you could make? We have a whole blog on personal trainer salary for most major gyms on our site. But personal trainers, once again, kind of like any sort of entrepreneurial business in which you're in charge of getting your own clients, you make more money when you put more effort into the business. So we have assisted trainers, in starting out and making, starting $30,000 a year and making good money to slowly transition to put more emphasis, because maybe they're coming from another career, all the way to trainers that are, they have a private business. They have a very successful private business making, $60,000 to $80,000 a year, and then assisting them in taking their business online so that they can make even more money because they can train more people. And that's when you start to look at your six-figure trainers, $100,000 to $150,000 trainers per year, or $150,000 to $150,000 a year, because you offer in-person private training as well as online personal training, and then comboing that and really opening up more time so that you could focus on your online training business, which allows you to work from pretty much anywhere in the world. So a lot of great stuff heading in that direction, and definitely check out our blog, because we have a ton of great info all about online training, how to become an online personal trainer, as well as an entire course that will teach you every step of the way. But yeah, how much money can you expect to make after you're certified? I would say if you are a full-time personal trainer right after you're certified, you're working in a major gym, somewhere around $35,000 to $45,000. Well, we'll say $35,000 to $40,000 a year is what you should expect in year one. Remember, that's you putting in some good effort though to train clients and get clients. Okay. But the median annual income of personal trainers throughout the U.S., this is all ranges of personal trainers from full-time to part-time, is around $55,000 a year for the successful trainers, the ones that have a full client load, that sort of thing. All right, so when I start to think about wrapping up this sort of information, it's really about you. Where do you want to work? What type of business do you want to run if you want to be private? Do you want to be an online personal trainer? And in my, we'll say, advice is check out our career roadmap on our site. Actually, it's on our personal trainer certification page, or Fitness Mentor CPT up at the top menu heading. But when you think about progressing your career as a personal trainer, get certified, do all the steps in this video, in this podcast, and then progress yourself through each step. Be successful in a gym, if that's your immediate choice. If you're then going private, take your private training business and grow it. Once you're private and you have more time, grow your online personal training business. That logical progression has easily led to the most six-figure trainers. Because they're offering, they're confident, they're helping people really, achieve their fitness goals. And then they're also, creating more revenue by adding more services and providing true value to get people to their goals, and helping more people get to their goals. So I know you're extremely passionate about becoming a personal trainer, and I feel that passion usually takes you a long way. And to be honest, guys, it's such a fun career path. It's so fun to really see someone change from, being maybe less confident to then grow in not only in self-confidence because of the way they look, but because of the way they feel. I started off training business professionals around ages, 28 to 40 years old. And to see them go from like kind of like, oh, I'm a desk jockey, I'm out of shape, I don't feel good about myself or the way I look, and then all of a sudden seeing this transformation to becoming, confident in their skin, confident or having the highest self-confidence in their businesses because they look and feel great. Guys, it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do, or one of the most rewarding things in that I have felt, because it's really taking someone and really helping them way more than just like, oh, you lost 10 pounds of body fat. It's so much more about that mental evolution. So I highly encourage that you check out our site, because we have a ton of great information about becoming a personal trainer, how to become a personal trainer, how to become a fitness instructor, how to become a group fitness instructor, all of that good stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me, and let's go ahead and shut it down, as I will look forward to seeing you next week on podcast number 11. All right, guys, have a great day.
As always, thanks for listening to the Certified Personal Trainer Podcast. You can learn more about fitness mentors at fitnessmentors.com. Be sure to share this podcast on social media. And remember, we are here to help you succeed.